How are y'all? Welcome back to another episode of KCG Plays. My name is Kevin and today we are playing another floor 9 run in Luckby Landlord. And for anyone following, the win-loss streak is currently at, well, win-loss record, at a streak of 1 at the moment. We are at 7 wins and 6 losses, which I actually worked out is 53.8% win rate. So just over 50, not too bad at all. Let's see if we can improve that today. And let's jumping straight into it, and we'll take a second cat, I think. Some interesting synergies with cats. We could take a present, maybe hope to pick up a toddler, or present will at least get rid of itself after a while and give us some kinds. We're at slightly less than 1 though, so it's not great. Let's take a candy. Definitely leaning into the toddler strategy now, but we made the first rent payment with 3 left over. We could take a wolf, it's just worth 2, which isn't too bad. Cats give 1 more, is quite good. We have 2 cats. So now worth 2, which makes them a lot better. Let's take a seed. Hopefully we get something decent out of it. Okay, I don't mind taking a dwarf. And let's take a milk for the 2 cats. For a nice quick boost. So bronze arrow is also probably worth it. Our seed still hasn't transformed into anything, but we did make the 50 rent payment with 26 left over, which isn't too bad. 100 now due in 6 spins. Let's take a rabbit fluff, it's worth 2 and it could give us something good. Let's take a jack-o'-lantern because we probably would pick up a toddler. We could take a beer for the dwarf. I think 2 cats is probably enough. And well, let's take another beer over the pinata. If we already had a toddler, a pinata would be great, but at the moment we don't. Do we want a chef? At the moment we have 1 candy and a cherry. Neither one of them is very good. We do have a peach as well, I guess, and I guess it is worth 2. Or we could take the lockbox and use it to get rid of the key, which I think is probably better. And let's take a target. Actually is probably better than the beer. It's worth 2 per turn and it will give 20 once the arrow hits it. I don't want any of these. Okay, and we did make the 100 rent payment with 101 left over, which is brilliant. Great scaling. 150 now due in 6 spins. I'll take a wine over the target. It's just more likely to get hit faster. Okay, rare or better. What things are rare or better? So that's apples, strawberries and watermelon. Let's take fertilizer. Maybe we could do a bit of a flower, a bit of a fruit build. Let's take another cat because they are worth 2, so not too bad, and there is some interesting synergies with it. Out of these, I don't want any of these, so let's reroll and let's take a seed. It should give us something decent. Okay, we could take a thief and hope to pick up a banana peel at some stage. But we don't really have any synergies with thieves, so I don't particularly want to. Let's take a present just to fill up the empty space. A pear is fantastic. Now I'm kind of wishing that I got the chef. I'm not entirely sure if it works with the pear, but if we can get this pear scaling, that can be our entire run. Let's take a toddler because we do have a few things to go with it, and it gives us 2, so it's not too bad by itself. And we made the 150 rent payment with 113 left over, so we did scale more than rent. 225 now due in 7 spins. We could take a 5-sided dice. I think it's pretty decent. And let's take, there's nothing here from adoption paper we want, and so let's take grave robber. Okay, there goes the present. Let's take a milk for our cats. Let's take an urn because we do have grave robber. And we're looking for some way to buff the pear. That could be our late game scaling. Let's take a candy. A bubble, I mean, sorry. I was looking at the candy, but I took the bubble. Let's take another present for the toddler and let's remove, what's the worst item? Probably the coin. Okay, 48. We're doing pretty good so far. I don't particularly want another peach. We still have no luck getting the arrows to hit the pair yet. Well, eventually, should happen. Okay, 49, but we made the 225 rent payment with 188 left over, which is fantastic. We scaled more than rent. 300 now due in 7 spins. Let's take a chemical 7, I think is worth the most, or is it big earn? No, let's take big earn instead, and let's take piggy bank is worth 2 every spin, so it's not too bad. Okay, let's take another present. Although now I come to think of it, the hustling capsule may have been worth more. Let's take a, we already have 1 target, so let's take a void stone because it'll just roll in and get destroyed straight away. There goes our present with the toddler, which is decent. Let's use the reroll and let's take a second bronze arrow. Just increase our chances of one of them hitting the pair. Okay, let's skip all these. 26, and we don't want any of these. We could take a safe, I guess. There's a few things that could help with safe, but let's take it. We still do have a removal capsule if we end up with too many symbols. And let's skip this. Haven't had, okay, excellent. So the pair's gotten hit so far. That's once. It's pretty good. We made the 300 rent payment with 112 left over, so we're not scaling quite enough, but we could go General Zarf. I think General Zarf is great. I'm going to go General Zarf, and my plan, Quigley the Wolf is also great here, I think. My plan is that General Zarf will provide the money for the pair to scale off the arrows. Yep, it's working so far. Okay, let's take an urn and let's remove this pearl, I guess. Okay, let's take a billionaire is great with General Zarf. And how many? 5 spins? We should be okay. Let's take another bronze arrow. Okay, excellent. Bronze arrow gets hit and the pair gets hit. We're doing well so far. Let's take a cultist for General Zarf. Is great. There goes a target, there goes a cultist, and there goes something else up here in the corner. We will skip all of these. We don't need any of these. Okay, a pair is coming along. Let's take another removal capsule. I'd also take a few wolves, maybe just to... oh, billionaire is great. Better than wolf, I think. Okay, we made the 375 rent payment with 84 left over, so not fantastic. 450 now due in 8 spins. Let's take a lucky capsule or a geologist. We could take a geologist and get rid of General Zarf. We would have 2 billionaires though. Can we afford to do that? Is it too late for the scaling? This, I think, is a big choice. Let's instead take a lucky capsule and let's take... let's take time machine. Okay, we don't want a miner, we don't want a mine, I don't think. That would have been decent with geologist. Card shark. We'll take him just to feed him to General Zarf. Okay, and with the billionaires, we shouldn't have any problem making rent, I'm hoping. We have a load of arrows as well that will hopefully hit General Zarf on the appropriate turns. Pear is now given 4, which isn't too bad. Let's take a toddler. Okay, we're only getting about 32 per spin, which isn't fantastic. Okay, getting great luck on the arrows hitting General Zarf once he eats someone though. Let's take a dwarf. Okay, 48 per spin that time. How is our symbols doing? Let's take another dwarf. Okay, not too bad. 50, we're not doing too bad. Let's skip this. But on a roll like that, as you can see that this isn't a great run so far. Let's pay 450 though with 60 left over. 575 due now in 9 spins. Let's take a dame and let's take We'll take red suits. We could do a suits build as well as kind of a side thing. Side hustle. Okay, if we get 50 per spin, we should make the next rent payment, I believe. We do have... So these take 2 less. Still don't think they're good enough. But I took it. I meant to skip. But I took it. That's not great. Okay, 50 on that spin. Let's take a void creature. Okay, our pair is slowly getting bigger. Don't want a peach. We have 6 spins. If we get 50 per spin, we should do okay. How are we doing? 50 on that spin. Let's take a bounty hunter. Just looking for faces to feed to General Zarf. Okay, 25. A very bad spin there. We could do with target is pretty decent. Okay, 55 on that spin. We don't want any of these. 3 spins. Okay, there goes our target. We could do with a few billionaires or something. But unfortunately, it looks like we need to get 175. Just didn't get the scaling on this run, unfortunately. I think maybe if we pivoted into geologist, it might have been too late. Is the only problem. It's tough to know. Oh well, we do have piggy bank. Will that work? Just short, actually. We were very close. So we tried to just base our entire run around pair, but we only got up to 6, which wasn't enough. Maybe a few more wolves. I'm not entirely sure because our deck wasn't actually that bad, and we were feeding General Zarf most turns, but just wasn't enough to get us through, unfortunately. So that's bringing our win-loss up to even 50%. We seem to be following the trend of 1 win and then 1 loss and then a win. So hopefully this will be on brand and we'll get the same. This will be a win is what I mean. Let's take a dwarf, is always decent, and let's take a toddler. Okay, we've got our 2 eaters now. I don't particularly want any of these, but let's take an anchor, I guess. And we could take a banana peel that'll enable us to take a thief later on. And we made our first rent payment with 10 left over. Okay, bear is pretty good and it enables some good synergies. Let's take lucky cat. Hopefully we get a decent rare early on. We can kind of base our deck around. We'll take lockbox there. And let's take a void creature. Okay, let's take an item capsule. Ricky the banana, that's great with the banana peel actually. And let's take a seed and see what it gives us. Another flower, it's not fantastic, but we did make the 50 rent payment with 28 left over. 100 now due in 6 spins. Let's take big urn and let's take, could take Mori the rabbit. Let's take Mori the rabbit. I wouldn't mind picking up some rabbits. Okay, it's a bit late for cultist, but on the other hand, I don't really have anything that helps clubs, so let's just skip. And let's pair is great if we can find some way of growing it. Let's take a bubble there. Could feed the toddler, it's worth 2, it's all good. Let's take rabbit fluff, it's worth 3 and it increases our rarities. So that's pretty good. Wine is happy with wine for the dwarf. That should give us a nice influx of cash. And we made the 100 rent payment with 59 left over. 150 now due in 6 spins. We don't have any way of getting rid of billionaire, so I'll skip it. And let's take lucky capsule. And here we could take treasure map, I guess. Okay, hopefully this rare will give us something nice. Tomb, it's worth 3. So let's take it just because it's worth 3. And with Grave Robber, which we're already kind of incentivized to take, it wouldn't be too bad. Let's take another big urn. Worth 2s, which aren't too bad at this stage in the game. But we don't want any more, I don't think. Okay, we're getting about 30 per turn, which isn't fantastic. But this stage of the game is not too bad either. Let's take a milk for the cat, I guess. How many symbols do we have? 20 symbols. Okay, no, let's let's skip that. At this stage I'm thinking, is this Pear worth it? We made the 150 rent payment with 94 left over. Let's take a chemical 7. And here we go, Zarf's contract. And instead of Zarf's contract, let's take Lunchbox. I've taken Zarf's contract a lot lately. I think it is quite good, but let's try something else. Another chemical 7 is great. A beer for the dwarf, and just take an apple. It's just worth 3, which is pretty decent. Let's get rid of the pearl. Okay, 36. We don't have anything for hearts, so let's skip. Okay, 44 on that turn. That's not too bad. Again, we don't have anything for billionaire. I will take a second cat though, just to help Lucky Cat. And out of these, I will take a safe. How many turns is this? 9. Okay. Black pepper isn't fantastic. Let's skip this. Okay, we're getting about 28 per turn. Let's skip this as well. And let's take a void creature. That's always good. And we made the 225 rent payment with 90 left over. 300 now doing 7 spins. And this is really where we want to find something we can work around, which we haven't as of yet. Let's take black suits though, that could work. And let's take a present because we do have a toddler. Let's remove the worst symbol in our deck, which I think is actually this coin, possibly the flowers. Okay, 27. We did take a banana peel, so let's take a thief. That'll help clear the banana peel out from our deck. And we did take black suits, so let's take suits and let's start pivoting our deck around suits. See if that helps. Skip all these. How are we doing? 2 spins. We should make the next rent payment, I believe. 24. Okay, we need to get 60 on this spin. Let's take a candy for the toddler. Was that a good idea? Probably not. And unfortunately, we didn't make the rent, which is a pity because we did have Lucky Cat and we had Rabbit Fluff, but just didn't see any rares that we could kind of build the deck around. So unfortunately, for the first time since the new update, we have now lost more than we've won. But hopefully this streak of luck will change, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Short enough video for today, 2 runs that didn't go too fast. Hope you enjoyed them anyway. If you did, give us a like and subscribe to see more, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the runs. Until next time guys, take care of yourselves and cheers for now.